guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next update for my whole collection Project Pan. I'm currently working on 10 items in this project and I am going to show you where I am with all of those right now. But before I jump into the products, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just start with the first item. So the first item that I'm going to talk about is one of my eyeshadows. I usually start with eyeshadows and I work myself down, and I'm going to start with the one that's been in here the longest. This is the shade Mademoiselle from the She palette. I think this was originally a shade from the Element of Surprise palette, but I did kind of merge those two palettes together, and I have actually since depotted that palette completely and I now have it as singles. So the shade is actually called Labyrinth from the Element of Surprise palette if you're interested, but that is the shade I was working on, and I am happy to report that I finally pan on it. If you can catch it right there, it is the smallest baby pan, but I was so tired of working on this and it's not the most summer kind of appropriate shade in my opinion, so when I hit pan I just put it away straight away, and that is why the pan is so small. But I did hit the pan finally and I can roll this out, and like I said, it took me 4 months to roll this out, and I did use it an additional 9 times in the past month for a total of 30 uses. So yeah, I'm happy to roll this out, and I'm going to replace this with a new product at the end of the video. The second eyeshadow that I was working on, I've been working on for 2 months now, and that is the NARS single eyeshadow in the shade Calistro. This is one of their dual intensity eyeshadows, and again my goal with this was to hit pan on it. And as of the last update I had used this 10 times, and I did actually use this an additional 3 times to hit that pan. It's going to be quite difficult to show because the shadow itself is quite similar in tone to the pan, but I think you can pick that up there. It's actually a decent sized pan. So it took me 13 times to hit pan on this, and it is another eyeshadow that's rolling out of this project. The third eyeshadow that I am currently working on in this product is actually one of my Cleon eyeshadows, and because it is one of my kind of more special shades in my collection, I'm just putting a usage goal on it rather than hitting pan. And my goal is to use it 15 times throughout this project, and I have so far reached for this 7 times. I'm hoping you can see how beautiful this eyeshadow is. It looks like it has like some pink to it. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but it shifts to like a green, which I think maybe you can see slightly there. Let me just put it and swatch it on my finger just to see if you can pick that up. But yeah, you can see the pink there, and then maybe you can see the green shift slightly. It is an absolutely stunning shade, and I'm very excited to continue working on this, and I don't think there's going to be any issues using this an additional 8 times in the next month. And since it is staying in, I have swatched that out on my hand, and I think you can definitely see the shift there. It is a stunning eyeshadow, and I'm really happy to have it in the project at the moment. The next item is definitely one that has been a long haul product in this project. That is my Makeup Forever full cover concealer in the shade 6. I have had this in since the absolute beginning of this project, and it's taking me such a long time to finish. I mainly use this as an eyeshadow base rather than an actual concealer, and it works pretty well for that. I do like it, and in the past month I have used this 35 times, which is pretty much on par with my previous months, and this is my progress as you can see there. So that is where I am now, and you can see my progress. Again, it's very consistent, it's very slow, but I am definitely getting to the bottom of this. I think this might be done in the next like maybe 3 months, possibly 2 months. We'll see, but it's definitely one that's going to stay in for a couple more months, and I don't mind that because it's one that I can easily reach for every single day. The next product is another exciting one. That is my Sunbeam from Benefit. This one I rolled in 3 months ago, and my goal with this was to use it 50 times, and I had after the last update used this 35 times, so I only needed to use this 15 more in the past month, and I did actually do so. So this one is rolling out. It is a beautiful kind of slightly darker toned highlighter shade. It looks like this, you can see it on the one there, and I mainly use this on the top of my cheekbones or mixing with my foundation. Now when I got a bit more of a tan, I used more on my cheekbones, but earlier when I was a bit paler I did mainly use it to mix in with my foundation. But I am now rolling this out, and again this is another one that I will replace at the end of this video. Next up we have a product that I rolled in at the last update, and that is actually a bronzer that comes from my Hourglass Ghost ambient palette. This one is in the shade Eternal Bronze Light, and it is another one that I want to use 30 times. So with this one I have actually used this 12 times in the past month, and this is what it looks like. I mean, I'm not sure if you can pick up much of a difference on camera, but it's definitely getting a bit of use. I think it's definitely kind of flattening out a bit. It was a really new product in my collection. I actually just picked this up maybe like a week or two before rolling it into this project, so yeah, it's definitely very, very new, but I don't mind getting used to this. I am however panning a different bronzer in my 21 and 2021, so I have had to divide my attention between those two, and despite that, I think I can definitely use this an additional 18 times in the next month, and I'm really going to try to do that so that I can have this rolling out at the next update. The next product that I have is my brow gel. This one comes from Anastasia, and it is just the clear eyebrow gel. With this one, I have used this 29 times in the past month, and my goal with this is to finish it. In the previous month, I used this 37 times, so what is that? That is, it's 66 uses, which is quite a lot over 2 months time, but you can clearly see that I use this every single day. Yeah, so with this one, it's getting really, really low, and if you look at the one now when I pull it out, it basically looks clean. So I think what I'm going to do after this update is I'm going to pull out the stopper, and I'm going to try to get the last bits out, but I have done that previously in the past, and usually it doesn't last too much longer after I pull the stopper out, so I definitely think this will be another one that I will be rolling out at the next update. So the last 3 items in this project are all lip products, and I have 2 liquid lipsticks from KVD Beauty. The first one is Ophelia, which is the one that's been in here the longest, and with this one I have a usual goal of 50, and I had in the first month this was in used this 29 times, so I had 21 times left to go this month, and I have reached that goal. So I have now reached for this 30 times in total, and I wasn't too worried about this because it's a beautiful new shade that was easy to reach for every single day, and it was the one that I kind of reached for when I wasn't sure what kind of lip product to go with a certain look, because it went with literally everything. It was a perfect nude for me, and I definitely have rediscovered this in my collection. I really, really love the tone of this, so I think this is one that I will reach for more regularly now, and I am so happy to have gotten a really good amount of usage out of this throughout this project. The next liquid lipstick I have is this shade here, which is called Berlin. With this one, I have the goal of using this 30 times, because since it is a bit more of a bold shade, I don't really want to put the usual goal of 50 on it. And so far, I have actually only reached for this twice, so that's not too great, but I have been panning quite a lot of other lip products, so I kind of forgot about this a little bit, so I need to remember to reach for this more. And it is a beautiful summer shade, as you can see here. It's like a corally pink shade, so I need to reach for this more, and I'm quite far away from that 30 use goal, so we'll see how long this takes, but I'm really gonna try to put my mind into using this more in the next month. Then the last lipstick that I have is this one here, which is actually one of my Burberry lipsticks. This one is in the shade Tea Rose, and it is actually the lip product that I'm using today. With this one, again, my goal is to use this 50 times because it's more of a neutral shade, and also with bullet lipsticks I reapply them more often, and I do count every reapplication as a use. And so far in the first month that this has been in the project, I have used this 14 times, so I'm definitely getting some uses out of it, but I still have quite a long way to go. But again, it's going to be one that I'm going to try to reach for more, and since I now have that other nude out of the project, I think I can reach for this a bit more, although obviously this is more pink toned than the other liquid lipstick, and I don't think this will go with every single look, but I am going to try to make a mental note to reach for this more. So 4 items are rolling out this month, so I'm going to roll 4 items in, and I have my randomizer between 1 and 952 because that's the amount of items that I have in my collection. I do have the roll of max 3 of each category, so I'm going to roll for now anything, but if I roll in 2 additional eyeshadows or 1 additional lip product, I will count them out, as I will then have the maximum amount in those categories. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and randomize, and the first item will be number 537. So 537 is one of my eyeshadows. This one is one of my singles from Makeup Geek in the shade Pegasus. So it's going to be the first shade. The second item that I'm going to roll in is 672. So 672 is one of my cream eyeshadows, and this one comes from Chanel in the shade Fantasme. So that's going to be the last eyeshadow that I'm going to work on. So I'm now going to remove all of the eyeshadows from my spreadsheet and start with the one that's below, which is one of my eyeliners, which is going to be 690. So we're now going to randomize between 690 and 952, and the next item is going to be number 852. So 852 is one of my Chanel lipsticks, and this one is in the shade Boy, which I'm really happy with. I know what shade that is. It's another nude, so I'm excited for that one. but that means that I also have 3 lip products now, so I'm going to remove those and have a maximum of 796. So the last item that I'm then going to roll in is going to be 748. Okay, so this is actually another product I'm very excited about. This is one of my highlighters from Benefit, and it's the only highlighter I know that I haven't used this year, which is my cream highlighter from Benefit in the shade, or like the WhatsApp highlighter from Benefit. So I'm gonna go and grab those 4 items and I will be right back. So I'm back and I have my 4 items right here. I can't remember what order they pulled in, so I'm gonna go kind of in product category. So I'm gonna start with the eyeshadows that I pulled in, and the first one, like I said, was one of my singles from Makeup Geek in the shade Pegasus, and this is a beautiful kind of light blue shade that looks like this. I actually, as you can see, already have pan on this, so I can't put in the goal of hitting pan on it. So I think what I'm going to do, although it's going to be difficult because I'm panning so many other eyeshadows, is to put the use goal of 15 again, as I normally do with my kind of more special eyeshadows, because like I said, I already have pan on it. So that's what I'm going to do with this one, and yeah, it's a beautiful shade for this time of year though, so I think it's going to be perfect to work on. The next eyeshadow I'm rolling in is one of my Chanel cream eyeshadows. I'm not sure what these are called, but this is in the shade Fantasme, and with this one it's just like a beautiful kind of light sparkly silver shade. As you can see, it is more of a sparkle rather than like has a base color. I built it up quite a lot there, but that is what the swatch looks like. I think this will mainly work as like a topper shade or as an Icona highlight, but I think you can get a lot of use out of this one anyway. And with this one, since it is more of one of these kind of pots and I know how deep these are, I don't want to put in the goal of hitting pan again. So I'm going to put in the usage goal again of 15 on this eyeshadow. Then we have 2 products left. We're going to start with the highlighter. This one, like I said, was the What's Up highlighter from Benefit. And I'm actually really excited to roll this in because I was thinking just today that I want to reach for this more, especially when it's summer, because it is more of a cream product and I do enjoy this product quite a lot. So I do have a lot of product left in this. This is all I have left, so I don't want to try to finish it. It's going to be too ambitious, and I'm also panning out the highlighters. So I think what I'm going to do with this one, as I normally do with kind of base product, is put in 50 as a usage goal. So that's going to be my goal with my cream highlighter from Benefit. And then the last item that I'm rolling in is one of my Chanel lipsticks. This is one of the Rouge Coco Shines in the shade Boy. This is a beautiful nude shade and I really enjoy this, and I'm excited to have a reason to reach for this. It's more of a kind of plummy brownie nude, I would say. It looks like this, and I really love the formula of this. I actually have one of these in my shop, my stash at the moment as well, and yeah, it's just one that is going to be really nice to reach for. I'm going to swatch this out and show you what it looks like, and also show you kind of what the full color story of all the colored products is. So there you have the swatch of the Boy lipstick right there. It's more of a sheer formula, but I really like that. And I forgot to say as well, I'm going to put the usage goal of 50 on this because it is more of a nude shade. It's also a bullet lipstick, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. So 50 on this one, and that is the last part that I'm going to work on. So here you have the full color story of everything that I'm going to work on. We have the shade Gloaming from Cleona, we have the bronzer from Hourglass, the Berlin liquid lipstick from KVD, the tea rose shade from Burberry, the lipstick. We have the new shades down here, which is Pegasus from Makeup Geek, the Fantasme from Chanel, then we have the What's Up highlighter, and lastly the Boy lipstick from Chanel. So that's all the colored products, and I'm also of course panning these 2 items right here, but I didn't bother swatching them out because they are like not very fun to see. I mean, this one has color, but yeah, it's just a nude skin tone color. So that is all of the items that I'm panning for this next month, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys!